Hi everyone, welcome to Foundation 1.6 Meridian Transits. The checklist for today is that we're going to give a very good example on how one can know the Meridian transit. This is not a transit like the other transits that we're doing. However, what we're simply saying about Meridian transit is that can we find a proper time within that particular day when the influence should kick in? So whether we're talking about a buy or a sell, around what time exactly do we look for a buy or a sell, right? So for the moon transit, we already know that the exact time of the new moon starting or the full moon starting, that's the time we're supposed to buy or sell. And there's a bit of drawdown, but almost exactly that same time will give approximately the best time to buy or sell for the moon transit. However, what about those other transits? Let's talk about other planets transits on radical places or progressed positions of the sun, the moon, the ascendant, or the midheaven. Um, Not only that, but what about the daily fluctuation influences, the aspects and the in between aspects positions? How do we know that around what time exactly that day we should be looking for a buy or sell? And then the other stuff is that whether we're looking at days that don't have any transit or any other oasis, and we're just drawing up the chart at midnight and be able to figure out uh, based on the aspects of the general the prime sign factor of that year. Are we able to tell what time within that day when we are supposed to make a buy or a sell based on uh, the influence for that day? So I'm going to give an example, just one example that should serve as an example for all. So remember that in the other video, I did show an example of the October 13th, 2022 Mercury transit on the moon's progressed position of Libra, 3 degrees 37 minutes, right? So I'm going to look up the chart and probably just go through what we did. So chart info, we're going to set chart info to October 13th, okay, yeah? So, okay, actually had it already set. So I'll just simply leave it there. So we're already seeing that the Mercury is at Libra 3 degrees but 21 minutes. So I'm going to remove the minutes to 37. So I'm going to move it by a minute, and then okay, a minute is too slow, so perhaps an hour would do. An hour would do. So 30, okay, 37. So I can just now remove by minutes. Okay, okay. So one more push, yes. So now we have Mercury at Libra 3 degrees 37 minutes, which is the progressed position of the moon this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my V to check the aspects, and then we'll see what the influence for that day is. So we already have moon trine Mercury with a negative orbit here, and then we have Mercury opposite Jupiter with a negative orbit as well, and then we have Mercury, of course, square ascendant with a negative orbit as well. The Mercury Saturn semi quadrant rather is giving a positive, so of course it's not fully uh, exact aspect, so I'm going to leave it out. um, of course Mercury as well with Uranus is not making an exact. Okay, so we basically have these three. So now what I'm simply saying is that since Mercury already has aspect with the other planets, I'm going to cancel out. I'm not going to consider the one with the ascendant, right? So between the one with the moon and the one with Jupiter, which one of them is the least of the negative orbit? So we have got 2 degrees, and this one has got 2 degrees, but it has got 28 minutes, and this one has got 6 minutes. So I'm going to go with the one which is Mercury Jupiter opposite with so what we're simply saying is that this one is going to cause a sell. Yeah, a sell, right? That's what I've established. The influence for October 13th, 2022 is going to be a sell. We don't look to sell at this exact time. No. We're going to look for a meridian transit of this aspect. The one Mercury opposite Jupiter. We are supposed to make sure that we mark the one that's going to cause the sell, which is Mercury opposite Jupiter, right? So now that we have made sure that we have known what is going to cause the sell for that particular day, right? On this particular day, which is Mercury opposite Jupiter. So now, how do we know the Meridian transit? So what we're going to do is we're going to change the time to midnight. Midnight, right? On that particular day, midnight, and then I'm going to click the V so that I'm able to see them, right? So what I'm simply saying is that when we go on midnight, right, we have the MC here, and we have got its opposite here, right? So what we're looking for is wait, it's Mercury that we are looking at. So Mercury is here. So we're looking for Mercury here to transit the MC. It's already passed. Remember, it's already passed. It's already passed the opposite of the MC. Okay, so this line between the MC and its opposite is called the meridian. This line here, where the MC is and its opposite, is called the meridian. So whenever the aspect fully comes into effect, when it's on the meridian, that's when we actually say, okay, the planet was supposed to make a sell or a buy. So what I'm simply saying is that since Mercury is already past the meridian line, I'm going to look for it to transit this part. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move it within some hours. So I'm looking for Mercury to transit the MC. It's almost there. Okay, it's past. Okay, let me put it there. So okay, right? So here, so the 10th house is at Libra, which is the MC, which is at Libra 3 and 11, and then we're going to Mercury at that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to perhaps just push it a bit backward or a bit forward, and we should okay, we should be having yeah, some heat. So approximately now we have got the 10th house, which is the MC here, and Mercury at exactly the same position, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this time, which is 11:40, right? 11:40 New York time, right? 11:40. Once I mark this time, let me put it here. So the time I'm going to put is 11:40. Mercury transits the meridian. So what I'm going to look for is Jupiter to transit the same place, right? Because as you can see, it has already passed this. So I'll look for it to transit this exact place. It has to go from here to there, to the meridian as well. Once it transits that place, I'm going to mark the time as well. So it has to transit the meridian as well. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to shift the rate to an hour, then move Jupiter. So Jupiter is there. Then I move it by minutes. So Jupiter is almost right. Okay, so we're in Aries here, and Jupiter is in Aries. Okay, Okay, this is almost. So I'm going to move it by some seconds. Okay, so now we have the 10th house and Jupiter on the exact same location, right? So that we mark the time, which is 23:30, right? So to 23:30. So what is the mid time? So what's the mid time? So the simplest calculation that you can do is simply say your 11 hour plus 23, that gives us 34. So divided by 2, that gives us 17, right? In short, what I'm simply saying is that the best way to do this is to say 11 plus 23 divided by 2, which gives us a whole number of 17, right? So it's going to be 17 hours. And for the minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the 40 minutes plus the 30 minutes. Then this should divide. Okay, we should divide by 2 as well, which should give us 40 plus 30, 70 divided by 2, that gives us 35, right? So in short, what I was simply saying is that at 17:34 hours, we look to sell, right? So remember, what I'm looking for is not really the conversion of time. What I'm simply saying is that the 17th candlestick from market open is when we sell. So I'm going to move into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an hourly chart and move into that particular day, right? So we have, let me count the candles. So we have, okay, remember that we have about 23 candlesticks. So approximately I'm going to reduce by 1, right? So I'm going to reduce by 1. My chart here doesn't, it begins at 1 in the morning. So I'm going to reduce my my candlesticks to 16, not 17. So we have 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So approximately it's saying that we're supposed to have sold here, right? Supposed to have sold here. But would have been an hour late, right? So would have been an hour late. Okay. So what I would suggest people do is if we go to the the transit itself. Okay. Okay. So what I would suggest is that the transits do work, but the timing is not always right when it comes to the Meridian transits, right? Because there might be the issues of conversion, and there might be an issues of you're late by an hour and other stuff, and then you might not be given the proper price points, right? And that's the reason why the only transit I would ask that you only trade based on its time is only the moon transit, right? These other transits, it's quite hard to pinpoint the timing. However, um, that's exactly how the Meridian transits are supposed to be once it's checked. That's how they're supposed to be checked. So this is all about Meridian transits, and yeah. Having said this, all right, looking forward to another video. So please always remember the Meridian transits are like supposed to be like this, but they don't provide the very best timing. They don't provide the very best timing. The only timings that you can trust are the moon transits. So the moon transits are the ones that give the exact precise time and the exact good price point where the market will not move beyond or above that point for the rest of the day, depending whichever direction you have gone to with. So always remember that as much as the Meridian transits work like this, please stick to um, to the timings for the moon transits. The rest of them, just always know that if it's a sell or a buy day on that particular day, just uh, make sure you're looking for a sell. And moreover, the 17th candle simply means that we're in New York time, New York session, which somewhere begins around 14, right? 14 hours. That's around New York session, right? So perhaps the only suggestion we might have is that we should be looking to sell the market during New York session, right? Because that's when likely we're supposed to have much movement based on that particular day. So in short, if you had noticed, the 14th candle was this one. So the 14th candle, when the market opened, when the New York session opened, we were somewhere here. We did make a very good push before we dropped. So this is around the exact time the New York session was supposed to be the time when we're supposed to be looking for, or supposed to have been looking for the sell, right? So the Meridian transits, to be precise, perhaps we only look for the session. So if it's around 14, on the 14th candle, on the 17th candle, it's already in New York session. So always look for, just perhaps use the Meridian transits only to look at which session we are likely to have the biggest influence, or when we're likely to see the effect of that influence for that particular day to occur. So with this in mind, always remember that, and looking forward to the last video for this foundation uh, video series. For now, it's goodbye, and see you in the next video.